Hello, everyone. My name is Maria Wiedner. I am the founder and CEO of Cambridge Finance. And today we're talking about AI in real estate. And I'm here today with Nikodem Szumilo from Vari Partners and professor at University College London. Nico, welcome. Please tell us a little bit about your background and how the course came about.
Thank you, Maria. It's a pleasure to be here. As you said, I'm an academic at University College London, also the director of the Bartlett Real Estate Institute. And relatively recently, we started delivering training on AI specifically in real estate. It's a fascinating topic and it's been a phenomenal journey. It's interesting that the reason I became interested in using AI for real estate is mostly because of Monica, my wife, who is an AI engineer and an educator. And she's been telling me to start looking into AI for a very long time. And after years of ignoring her, I finally did it maybe 2 years ago and instantly regretted not listening to her sooner. So after I took the plunge, started looking into AI, I was blown away. The abilities that it gives you, the amazing skills that you can develop using AI, in my opinion, are an absolute game changer for our industry. And I have been using AI for the last 2 years for virtually everything that I do. It's made me more efficient, it made me better, and you know what? Made me happier because I love what I do and now I can do more of it.
I'm glad to hear that AI made you happier. So, but a lot of times people say use AI very broadly, generically. What is there a definition of AI, and what is AI for the people listening to us that are not really familiar yet of what AI is and how it can help them?
It's a very interesting question. Also, for an academic, it's a question that is incredibly hard to answer. There are many definitions, academic definitions of what AI is. Some of them focus more on a thing called machine learning. Some of them focus more on things that are considered deep learning. Those are academic definitions, and they are relatively technical and hard. There are many things that are based on AI that we use every day. There is a lot of AI in your phone. There's a lot of AI in your computer. There is a lot of AI in virtually all software that we use on a regular basis. The most exciting type of AI that impacts our lives the most, and this is why we are so interested in AI at the moment, is generative AI, which is AI that creates something genuinely new that didn't exist before. The way it does it is it looks like at truly enormous amounts of data. Think of the universe of everything that is available on the internet. Phenomenally large amount of data. And the algorithms can learn from that data, can see patterns in that data, and then replicate those patterns. And look, if good artists borrow and great artists steal, AI is definitely a great artist because it will literally just observe patterns in the data and then apply them again and again and again to different things. So it has amazing abilities to create new things that didn't exist before. Of course, we could have a very philosophical conversation about what true creativity really is, but aside from that, AI can create things that didn't exist before, and although they are based on patterns that it observes, they are genuinely new. And this is the type of AI that we are really excited about. Things like ChatGPT or Claude, the large language models, or even the visual models that can create those amazing images that have been all around the internet lately. All of this is considered generative AI. There are other types of AI that have been around for a decade or two that are less flashy, but also technically equally interesting.
Wonderful. And how can this AI be used in our industry in real estate? How can help our industry to become more sustainable, more efficient, and perhaps happier?
So the way I think about this is AI can help us do three things. Number one, It can help you do the things that you already do on a daily basis and help you do them faster and be better at doing them. Number two is it can help you do things that you knew you should be doing, just didn't know how. And now AI can do them for you, and you don't need to know how to do them because AI can do this. And number three, perhaps the most interesting, is it can help you do things you didn't know you needed to do because it can tell you you need to do these things. And then you don't need to learn how to do those things because it will do it for you. And those three things, in my opinion, are an absolute game changer for our industry. And look, I know it sounds like I'm excited about this, but if you could see the impact AI has had on my students, you would be believing in AI being a game changer as strongly as I am right now. It's truly phenomenal, and it has already changed lives. It has already changed the way people approach work and the output they can generate. And this is why I really think AI is a game changer for us.
It's very interesting how AI is a game changer in our industry. Can you give us some one example of how valuers or asset managers could use AI in real estate to become more efficient or better in what they do?
Of course, I can give you an example from my own experience, which is relatively technical, but then I promise you, I will give you an example that is a lot more relatable. I was trying to replicate a cash flow analysis that I normally do using Excel in AI based on a programming language called Python. And I was struggling, and I was wondering, why was I struggling so much? And you know what? It turned out that by creating an Excel spreadsheet, the sheer act of it required so many tacit assumptions that I wasn't thinking about anymore. How do you structure your cash flow? Do you structure it horizontally or vertically? The things that you just do on autopilot these days. When do you receive payments? At the beginning of the period, at the end of the period? And how do you hard code that into your spreadsheet? All of these things, they matter. But these are the assumptions that we are so used to making that we don't think about anymore. And there are so many of them that there is a difference between using Excel for this and using any other tool. And just trying a different tool, in this case AI, made me realize just how many of those assumptions we make on a regular basis without even thinking about them. So for me as an academic, that was really helpful, eye-opening. It made me realize all the things that we should really be very careful with. But the real impact that I think is going to have on our profession is not really through the technical things, but through the assumptions that go into our evaluations. Because historically, they've always been hard. They've always been subjective. At the end of the day, those assumptions are incredibly important. If you adjust the discount rate by 1/4%, it can make or break the cash flow. It's very important. We like to use round numbers. Why? Because we're humans and we just psychologically like round numbers. But these aren't necessarily the right assumptions to bake into your valuation. AI will help our profession become more analytical, more technical, and more scientific. And this is the biggest impact I think it's going to have on valuers and investment managers.
Nico, as you mentioned, there is a lot of ways to upskill in order to become more analytical, more robust in the investment analysis, for example. On the other hand, there's a lot of people worrying about, am I going to be replaced by AI, especially in very task-driven jobs that we have today, as in valuation and asset management. People are generally worried, especially regarding the data side, regarding the tasks, the automation. What would you say to those people that are worried? Like, is it a matter of time they're going to be replaced? What do they do about it? How do you see these jobs in the future?
Well, I have good news for you. I'm not too worried about valuers becoming obsolete as a profession, but the profession will change. Valuers and asset managers will be able to focus a lot more on the things that they like doing, the strategic things, the things that add value, and delegate a lot of the technical work to AI. It's not going to be automated. AI is not a tool that is supposed to automate what we do. It's supposed to augment what we do, make it better, faster. And of course, that means that you can do your work much, much faster. And that means that if the amount of work remains the same, fewer valuers will be needed. The good news is, I don't think the amount of work is going to remain the same, because as demand and supply laws will tell you, as price goes down, demand goes up. So as the price of doing a standard valuation service goes down, demand for it goes up. So there will be more demand for those services just because they become cheaper. Let me give you an example. When spreadsheets came out, around 400,000 jobs in bookkeeping in the US alone were destroyed. But at the same time, 600,000 jobs in accounting were created. Now, the reason for this is because accounting became much more efficient, cheaper, and more people were able to afford it. So more people started using that service. Of course, if you were a bookkeeper that didn't retrain to become an accountant and use spreadsheets, you had a problem. But if you did, you now had a great new profession that you could be a part of. And the same, I think, was going to happen to valuers and asset managers and everybody in real estate and finance. We will have to find a way to do different jobs using AI. So it's not that we will be replaced by AI or even by people using AI. We'll just find new, exciting ways to do new, exciting things, because AI will allow us to do things in a different way, to do them faster, to do things we didn't even know we needed to do. But now AI will help us discover those things, and it will change the profession that we're in, hopefully for the better.
That leads us to the question of the course on AI in real estate, which has a practical focus and is also very applicable to anyone in real estate. I myself was a student in this course, and I was blown away. So I would like to ask you, like, how this course came about, and what your aims are for the people attending this course?
Well, first of all, let me just say it means the world to me that you were blown away by our course. And it also means the world to me that most people who take this course say that it's amazing. I think 96% of people who take the course recommend it to their peers just because they find it so useful. And the reason for that course being useful for people who are already in the industry is because we designed it in a way to make sure that everybody who takes it is taken on a journey from trying to learn what AI is and how it works in a very accessible way, through case studies that we developed specifically for this course that are based on things that people in real estate do on a daily basis, all the way to deploying those cases in a way that help you with your daily routine. So it's not just knowledge that we want to deliver, but also the whole experience of learning through things that you feel are familiar to your daily job and that you can deploy on the next day. And we have seen this. People literally completed our course, and on the next day at work, they were able to use AI very effectively and efficiently distill the information into something that they found useful, and then build on that to develop use cases specific to their own roles. And this is exactly what we're trying to achieve. The course has been built on three elements. Number one, of course, is Monica's technical expertise on what AI is, how it works, and her experience of writing those models herself. Then there is Thomas's experience in the profession. He's been in the industry for 20 years across most exciting roles you can imagine. And then there is me. I come in with my academic experience, and together we put together a team that is trying to design a course that really ticks all the boxes and is absolutely unique when it comes to teaching AI, not just in terms of the content, but also the way it's delivered and the practical applicability of the skills that you will learn.
One question that I found very interesting in your course was about the ethical considerations of AI. It's one area that we need to be very aware of, and hence the European Union directive on AI, that anybody or any companies, organizations using AI, people need to be trained in order to AI. And one of the main issues with AI is about data privacy, is about the fairness, is about the ability of AI to make decisions for people that might be biased, given that the data might be biased. So I just wanted to ask you a little bit about the ethical considerations of AI and how you address this in the course.
Great question. Thank you. And I absolutely agree. This is something we should worry about. Of course, the biggest problem is, as you said, the agency of who makes the decisions. Our course is designed to make sure that you are aware of how AI works, where the biases are, what it does well and what it doesn't do well, and puts you in control of what decisions should be made, where to deploy AI and where not to. And of course, the idea here is that you will be able to disclose the important information to your clients. You will be able to understand how the data is being used, what the data is being used for, and who has access to that data. And that means that the ethical considerations that everybody's worried about are going to be dedicated to the person using AI. And you will have the understanding of the models and of the technology that allows you to make those decisions yourself and understand the risks, the benefits, and the proper solutions to make sure that you can deploy AI safely and responsibly.
The people that are taking this course, if they can help themselves or their organizations set up or systems in their lives or in the companies they work for, that will change the way they use AI or start applying AI straight away. So how do you see this course feeding this goal of people that want to actually implement AI in where they are?
Traditional AI is complicated and expensive. Famously, Bloomberg spent, I think, around £10 million developing Bloomberg GPT that few months after completion of the project was outperformed in every way but by openly available models. So it's slow, it's expensive, it's difficult to develop AI models internally. However, it's extremely cheap and easy to just learn how to deploy those openly available models and apply them in your daily work. It takes a day of training, and then you can start developing this internally for yourself and also inspire your team. Inspire your team to show them, hey, we should be doing these things differently. We should be using AI for this, for that. All those initiatives are incredibly easy to deploy, but the return on investment is phenomenal. Our course gives you the ability to see, we should use AI for this, we should use AI for that, discuss it with your colleagues, and also have the skills to show them, hey, this can be done. Lead by example, because you will be able to do those things. And we have seen this happen in the past to our participants, and we have seen, it's a day-long course that has a tremendous potential to change a lot about how you do work every day.
It's absolutely right. And myself, I am a case study of how to use AI because just to give an example, I took your course and then I am very good in Excel and modeling and programming Excel, but in other languages like Python, C Sharp, and Java, I'm just like a novice. So after taking your course, I was able to open ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to give me a couple codes that would actually very low resourcing, scraping some data from the internet. Of course, we discussed the topic before about ethical issues, like maybe scraping data is not the best way to use AI, but it was immensely helpful, and it was a task that I was doing manually before, and now with a single program, it took me half a day to find out, but it kind of like gave me a program that I can just use it, and it has improved my efficiency. So thank you so much for this.
That is such a fantastic case study. But you're right, it breaks the ice. It helps you understand, hey, AI can do this. And it gives you all the skills you need to get AI to do that.
Yeah.
And like in your case, it's just the ability to understand, to identify what AI should be used for and deploy it for that purpose. This is exactly what our course is trying to achieve.
So thank you so much for this. And lastly, if people are interested in taking your course with Monica and Thomas, who are amazing instructors as well, with lots of experience in the industry and in academia as well, please do sign up to our course, and you can find all the information in our website. So thank you so much for watching.